Hello and welcome everyone, this is Trinity Storm and you are watching a beautiful one-shot story on What If Kid Naruto Befriended Kurama. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Over a 3-year period. This pathetic embarrassment has lasted 3 horrid, dreary, rage-inducing years. He'd finally been freed from that abominable seal that had been pinning and chaining him up like some sort of trophy, only to be wrapped up in the eye magic of another foolish Uchiha whelp. To make matters worse, when he was finally free to return to his den and potentially destroy the world, an entire army of those stupid, arrogant humans decided they could beat him. The mighty 9-tailed demon, Fox, the most powerful of the tailed beasts. So he did what any rational all-powerful creature would do, he made a decision. He would completely destroy the head, causing the body to fall and allowing him to leave and destroy the world another day. If he so chose. Even for him, conquering a planet was a lot of work. But no, the Fourth Hokage, the new number 3 on his wretched human creatures that I'd enjoy nothing more than ripping to shreds while they scream in agony, list, teleports his tailed beast bomb somewhere else and then seals him away again. And if that wasn't enough, his previous jailer, whom he failed to kill, a truly stupid oversight, aided. But the worst part was that they didn't just lock him up. He was turned into a brat. Those wretched humans. He was the demon, Fox with 9 tails. His power was the equivalent of 3 times the amount of water on the planet, and this thing he's been sealed into? Not even a drop of rain. At the very least, he could acknowledge that his previous 2 jailers weren't nearly as worthless, weak, foolish, and arrogant as this infant. They could be responsible for a puddle or a small pond. But this was unacceptably humiliating. Destroying the world became more appealing with each passing day, but no matter what he tried, the seal remained firm. As he closed his massive eyes once more, those damned humans were clever enough to keep him at bay within this dark, dank, dreary prison cell. "Can I really live here, old man?" exclaimed the young blonde. This young boy was named Naruto Uzumaki, which means maelstrom, as he insisted, rather than fishcake, as the old man teased him about. "Of course, Naruto, but are you sure you'll be able to look after yourself here?" "It's a lot of responsibility, you know," he responded. Hiruzen Sarutobi, also known as the Professor and the 3rd Hokage of Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves, was the old man, as Naruto affectionately referred to him. "Of course I can, old man," Naruto said confidently, a bright smile on his face. "I'm 3.5 years old now. I'm all grown up. And you're sure you don't want to stay at the orphanage with the other kids?" "Why would I want to do that, you know?" the blonde huffed, pouting. "They're all a bunch of jerks in any case." Hiruzen sighed in response. He had tried everything he could to help the boy, but there was only so much he could do. He was old now, having only been able to serve as his successor for a short time before being forced to sacrifice himself, reinstating the professor as Hokage once more. Orochimaru had sadly gone too far. Now an S-ranked missing nin as a result of his heinous, vile experiments. If he'd only done more. Jiraiya was still on his journey, hoping to find the child of prophecy. The aging toad sage had become increasingly difficult to contact after the 2 previous children he believed to be said child were both killed. Fortunately, Jiraiya's extensive spy network made him an invaluable asset to the village. Unfortunately, all of this meant that not only would Jiraiya refuse to take the hat and finally retire, but he would also have no way to care for his godson. He was a fool. Still wallowing in the shadows of his past. Hiruzen, on the other hand, was a sentimental old fool with an overly kind heart, and he knew it, unable to demand such a thing from his only students, who were as important to him as his own children. Tsunade was clearly the best candidate for the job, but given that she had left the village after the Second Shinobi World War, the only reason she wasn't actively being hunted down by hunter ninjas was because she had no ill will towards the village, and Hiruzen decided to let her grieve for however long it took. Meanwhile, the last of the Senju was wasting her life away, drinking and gambling with her apprentice. Hiruzen reflected on the tragic end of a clan, but he was too old to be concerned about such things now. So he kept doing what he could for the boy, who should have been regarded as a village hero but was instead demonized. I understand, Naruto, and I apologize. Many people in this world disagree with my philosophy. What exactly is a phila? Philosophy? Naruto inquired. Philosophy, chuckled Hiruzen. A philosophy is a way of thinking about things, such as the world around you, personal rules, or even personal goals. So, my feel-good goal is to be the greatest Hokage? That could be one of them, Naruto, but you can have several. The ninja of this village all share one, the will of fire. Do you know what that is, Naruto? You said it was a philosophy, but I'm still not sure. The will of fire is our belief that everyone in the village is a family and that we should cherish, love, and protect one another. It tells us that we can achieve peace through love. And it gives our shinobi the strength to fight for our village and protect it from those who would harm us. Wow, that's a long philosophy. That, Naruto said, nodding. How can everyone have that when it's so long? You'll understand in time, Naruto, but for now, I must return to my work. Be safe, Naruto, and have a good night. Bye, old man. Naruto called out as the elderly Hokage walked away, puffing on his pipe. I'll prove to you that I'm old enough to live on my own, and then I'll be the best Hokage ever. That evening. Accepting the old man's offer of getting an apartment and learning how to live on his own may have been a little too ambitious for him. Sure, the orphanage was lonely, and the other kids were cruel to him, not to mention the horrible caretakers, but at least they were there. Being lonely and being alone are two entirely different things, and he was truly alone for the first time in his life. He wasn't in a room with a bunch of other orphans who would pick on him and spread rumors about him late at night, or who would play cruel pranks on him like dumping water on his face to wake him up or stuffing a worm into his shirt while he slept. He was by himself. When you're alone, everything seems a little scary. There's nothing but you and your surroundings. So Naruto tried to sleep again, terrified because he was alone, desperately wishing for someone else. Anyone else. Fortunately for him, that wish would be granted when he finally dozed off. Sorta. The mindscape of Naruto. The young blonde awoke slowly, sitting up in an unfamiliar location. It appeared to be a sewer or some kind of water system. He was sitting in a long, dark corridor in shallow water, as more drops fell from the ceiling and pipes lined the various walls. Where am I? Wondered Naruto. Wait, is this one of those things the old man told me about? What was it called? Locust? Larcade. No, that's not it. Lucid. That's it. This is a lucid dream, yeah, no. That means I can make anything happen that I want. The child exclaimed, standing up and looking around. This is awesome. I wonder what I should do next. A deep growl echoed through the halls of the unexplained area, which Naruto assumed was a lucid dream. Naruto didn't acknowledge the growl at all, perhaps because he was too distracted or simply didn't care. He simply continued to think aloud. To be Hokage? Yeah, that'd be cool, but I'm going to do that soon anyway, yeah, no. Besides, I usually dream about that. I should have a dream about something specific. I know. I could have a best friend. A perfect one. He'd be just as strong as I will be when I become Hokage. He'll beat up all those meanies who don't respect me. We'll argue sometimes but still have fun doing it. Now, where would I be if I were my best friend in a whatever dream? Another growl echoed through the piped halls, this time even louder than the previous one. He was getting closer. That must be him. Wow, he has a cool voice, exclaimed Naruto, racing towards the voice. I'm sure it's to frighten everyone who doesn't respect me. My dream is so cool, you know. The halls eventually came to an end, and Naruto found himself in a massive room in front of what appeared to be the world's largest prison cell. It had to dwarf the entire Hokage monument. In the center of those bars was a small sheet of paper with a written on it, which meant seal. My jailer comes very early this time, rumbled the deep voice, a single, glowing, slit red eye illuminating the darkness. You're too small, weak, and powerless for me to waste my time speaking with. Leave now and never return. Hey. You're supposed to be my best friend, ya know? Why go and say something like that? Naruto raged. I'm only 3.5 years old, but I'll soon be the strongest ninja ever, and then I'll be an even greater Hokage than the old man in the first, second, and fourth. A few years ago. If you refuse to leave, come closer so I can rip you apart and feast on your flesh. I don't think I understand your jokes, ya, no? Naruto chuckled weakly and scratched the back of his head. Anyway, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage, and what's yours? I refuse to stoop so low as to reveal my name to mortal whelps, it retorted. Why am I bothering to amuse this jerk? Well, what am I supposed to call you? I can't just call you best friend, you know? That would be weird, like if all those Dog Clan people called their dogs, dog, or I called a fox, fox. Yeah, no, your eyes kinda look like Fox's eyes, mister. That's so cool. Foxes are the best. Contrary to popular belief, the number of people in the world is increasing. This is indignation against my very existence. I am the legendary nine-tailed fox, strongest of the tailed. You're a fox? Naruto exclaimed, staring at the beast with wide, glittering eyes. And you're giant. That's amazing. My best friend is a giant fox. Beasts. I can destroy mountains with one swipe of my tail and level countries without even trying. And yet I'm sealed inside this ingrate of a child? I will not have it. Roared the nine-tailed fox, his tail swinging around aggressively as he approached the child in an attempt to scare the child away from ever speaking to him again. He growled and bared his teeth, lowering his head to glare at the child with all of his hatred. You really are a fox, ya, no? Naruto exclaimed as he ran up to the cage. I've got the best friend ever. What are you? The fox was stunned as the boy dove onto his snout and hugged him tightly, nuzzling into his fur. We're going to be the best friends ever. Naruto exclaimed. I'll show you Ichiraku's delicious ramen and introduce you to the old man and take you to my favorite places in the village and then we'll make more friends together, yeah, no. What is going on in the elemental nations? The fox was still taken aback by what was happening. Nothing remotely resembling this has ever happened to him in his entire life. He should be tearing the child to shreds. So what if he died alongside the boy? Sure, he'd be in excruciating pain for years, if not decades, given how powerful he was on the scale of tailed beasts, but he'd eventually reform. Of course, he'd have to wait a few more years to regain all of the power he'd lost by being essentially dead. But, in most cases, it would be worth it just to get rid of this absolutely despicable, human ingrate from his plane of existence. This scenario, on the other hand, was anything but ordinary. X? Hey, Mr. Fox? Are you there? I've been talking to you, you know. Naruto huffed. I still want to know what your name is, but I guess you can tell me later. I'll tell you about myself first. What are you doing? Roared the fox, finally realizing what was going on and attempting to shake the boy off his snout. Get off me, you wheel. Woohoo! Naruto exclaimed, laughing and giggling as he clutched the fox's soft fur. He hadn't had so much fun in, well, ever. His new best friend was truly the best. After nearly 10 minutes of running around, slamming into things, and shaking his head rapidly, as well as realizing that trying to knock the child off his head with his tails would only result in him smacking himself in the eye, the fox gave up and settled for glaring at the boy. That was so much fun! Exclaimed Naruto. Do you want to do it again? The fox simply growled. You know, Mr. Fox, I was expecting you to be a little more talkative, Naruto said. But that's fine. I think I like you just fine the way you were, you know? The old man always said to look for people's best. What was the word? Courtese? Despite his rage at being degraded yet again by this whelp of a child, the fox had to sweat drop at his inability to remember words correctly. Yeah, that was it, Naruto said, as if he hadn't just horribly misspelled the word qualities. Anyway, once I find your good questions, it won't matter if you don't take much. The old man says I talk a lot, so I can do most of the talking, yeah, no. I should rip you apart limb by limb, grumbled the fox. Once I've ripped your vital organs from your gut, I should use your spine as a toothpick and your worthless skull as a bucket for your vital organs. I'm not sure what that means, Mr. Fox, the blonde admitted. But I'm sure that was fox speak for, I can't wait. Or something along those lines, yeah, no? Wait a minute. This stupid, foolish child worships those damned Hokages. If this doesn't get this wretched piece of decaying meat off my snout, thought the fox. I refuse to reveal my name to some pathetic mortal whelp, but if only to stop calling me by that moronic name you've devised, you may refer to me as Nine Tails. I am the legendary nine-tailed demon, Fox. The destroyer of Konoha. Was that you? Exclaimed Naruto. Are you the nine-tailed fox, as the old man told me? Yes. I am the personification of hatred. I have killed more worthless scumbags than you've met in your miserable life. Nine Tails declared almost proudly. Finally. This jerk will leave me alone. If he shows back up, I swear to Kami I'll devour Hima. That's really cool, you know. Yes. Tremble Ina. My best friend is the Fourth Hokage's defeated super, ultra, all-powerful fox. I wasn't defeated by that damned Fourth Hokage. Nine Tails exclaimed. And how cool is that? Well, because you're my first and best friend, Naruto explained. And because you're super powerful, you can teach me all kinds of super cool ninja abilities, you know. That illogical assumption nearly knocked the fox over. What was he supposed to make of all of this? What kind of creature is this child who isn't afraid of the might of the nine-tailed fox? You were cruel to attack the village, but I forgive you, Naruto reasoned. The old man said the will of fire means that everyone in the village is family and that we should love, cherish, and protect each other, and that every shinobi follows it, so I will too. And since you're my very best friend in this super special dream, that means you're a part of the village too. Those statements kept repeating themselves in the legendary fox's ears. Over and over and over again. The best are foxes. We're going to be the best friends ever. You were cruel to attack the village, but I forgive you. You know, I'll have to love, cherish, and protect you just like everyone else. Damned if such lies could fool the fox. Those damned humans, toying with him. He was the most powerful being in the elemental nations. Why won't they see that he isn't something to be manipulated like a weapon? The fox opened its mouth, hoping to crush the boy's spirit and devour him limb by limb, but Naruto wasn't finished yet. You know, I'm not sure I believe you did it anyway, the blonde declared. You appear to be far too nice to do that to me. The fox closed his mouth again and thought for a long time, just watching the boy who was snuggling into his fur. He had a lot on his mind for the future. What exactly are you doing in my cage? Hey, that's an interesting point. Why are you in a cage? Naruto inquired. Wait, are you in timeout for attacking the village? That makes sense, and I'm in timeout in the orphanage as well. I'm not in, the fox sighed, irritated by how the day had unfolded. Sure, I'm in timeout. Now, boy, answer my question. Why are you in my cage? Well, I dozed off and then began to liquid dream. Lucida. Wow, you're really smart, you know. Yeah, I was lucid dreaming, so I had to decide what I wanted to dream about. I thought about endless ramen, becoming Hokage, being a super awesome ninja, but what I really wanted was a best friend that I could talk to and that would do everything with me. Naruto exclaimed. So, since I knew what I wanted to dream about, I went in search of you, and now I can spend the rest of my dream with my very best friend. This child is odd. I always have to choose between having all the other worthless-tailed beasts as my personal servants or father returning to destroy the world for imprisoning us, the fox thought. Why would I want to be your best friend? Because I'm incredible, Naruto exclaimed. After all, no one else wants to be my friend. If I can't make a friend in my lucky dream, Lucida, then what chance do I have of becoming Hokage? The old man said that Hokages need friends. Grumbled the fox, seemingly unconcerned. And you believe, in your tiny mortal mind, that I, the legendary fox demon, would be your friend for this reason? Are you a true demon? What? The old man said demons were evil, but you don't look evil to me, Naruto said, squinting. Did you know? I don't know what to say. This has been a very perplexing conversation, boy. Purse inspection? Why would a fox be interested in what's in a purse? Not purse in, sighed the fox angrily. How is it that he knows the word inspecting but not perplexing? So. I'm not sure what best friends are supposed to do, Naruto confessed sheepishly. I suppose I could whip up some ramen for us, you know? No, boy, you'll wake up soon, the fox sighed. Return to your side of the cage and get off my snout. Alright, fine, the blonde grumbled, climbing down and going back to the other side as the fox walked away. Wait a minute, where are you going? You're leaving this place, boy, and I'm not sure when or if you'll return, but this wasn't a dream. Wait. What? Exclaimed Naruto. I'll think about what you said today, boy, even if you don't think about it. I'm not a worthless, whelpish human, but I've been around long enough to understand how they think. Your kind has one universal and unbroken constant: you fear what you don't understand. If you run around like a stupid brat screaming that you're my best friend, you'll be sliced into rotten pieces faster than you can say. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I understood everything, Naruto admitted sheepishly. But if you think I won't be able to talk to you if I tell people we're best friends, I won't tell anyone yet, except perhaps the old man. I've spoken my piece, boy. Now leave me alone in my darkness. Okay. Bye, Foxy. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, no. Naruto waved as he vanished into the land of the awakened. What did you call me, boy? Roared the fox, staring at where he had been.
Humans.
Time travel. 2.5 years. I can't wait, 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 I can't. Quiet. Roared the fox back. Of the world. I'm sorry, Curry, Naruto said, sticking his tongue out cutely. Never call me that. Since meeting the nine-tailed fox, the two have gradually developed a friendship. It took almost a year for the fox to be willing to talk to Naruto, another half a year for the fox to stop calling him boy, and instead called him Kit, and only recently did the fox decide to tell him his name, albeit under the threat of immediate death, the cessation of all consideration of future friendship or partnership, and or mass destruction of the entire elemental nations if he told anyone else, which was Kurama. Of course, this resulted in Naruto's affectionate nickname, Curry. He hadn't explicitly told anyone yet that he was in contact with the fox every night, though Kurama was confident that the old man had figured it out. 4- and 5-year-olds aren't exactly subtle when it comes to gathering information. But it's a really cute nickname. If you're implying that I'm cute, Kit, I might have to rip off your head to get a better look at you. And no, oh of course not. Yeah, no. Ha ha. Naruto sheepishly chuckled. Just. Are. The other foxes, you know? You say, yeah, no, a lot when you're lying or uncomfortable, Kit, Kurama grumbled. How are the other kits, Kit? At the very least, call us by our names. That was the blonde's second major life change. He'd moved out of the small apartment, albeit reluctantly, and began living in the woods with a family of foxes who were rather taken with him after he saved their lives. Flashback. Foxes were not exactly a welcome sight in Konoha, especially during the Nine Tails Festival, when the village celebrated their late Fourth Hokage's defeat of the demon, Fox. Given that, and the fact that killing animals was not a crime, the once healthy fox population in the nearby forestry was all but destroyed, save for one small family of a young mother, her mate, and their 2 kits, who were ready to head out in the spring to find mates of their own. Unfortunately, they would never see that future. The ninja quickly killed the younger ones, who had not yet reached full size, and bound and muzzled the parents. During the festival, the civilians had a rather morbid tradition of dealing with foxes. They'd be fully restrained and immobilized before being doused in a flammable liquid, such as alcohol or oil, lit on fire, and set free. The crowd would cheer as the fox burned alive, desperately attempting to flee. Naruto, on the other hand, had seen the ninja carry the 2 older foxes away and was determined to save them. He'd always had an affinity for foxes. Perhaps it was due to the Nine Tails' presence within him, or perhaps he felt a kind of understanding with them, as they were as unfairly mocked as he was. He would save them this time. And he did save them. No one bothered to guard the foxes because no one cared about them and everyone enjoyed watching them burn during the festival. Once fully restrained, they were simply placed in a cage and left for the next day or so until the festival began. That night, he crept into the building where they were being held, took them home with him, and set them free. He wasn't sure what foxes ate because the Nine Tails was just a giant mass of chakra with consciousness and thus never ate or drank anything, as he'd say, such things were beneath him, so he just used whatever he had on hand that wasn't instant ramen. That happened to be some sort of green vegetable the old man had told him he should buy because it was cheap, though it took most of his weekly stipend to buy anything substantial. Of course, this was due to the fact that, unbeknownst to him, the only stores that allowed him in severely overcharged him for everything. The foxes seemed to recognize that he had saved them and were grateful to him. The 2 foxes yipped and barked happily, and he relished finally having company outside of the times when he could keep his own fox entertained for more than 5 seconds. He even managed to smuggle them to the top-secret hiding spot he discovered earlier that year in preparation for this very festival, given that the previous year they broke into his house, ransacked and destroyed most of what he owned, and beat him until he fell unconscious. So the small but unusual family of 2 foxes and a young boy hid out in a small cave in an out-of-the-way clearing to avoid the festival commemorating their extinction. Naruto returned to his apartment after the festival, only to discover that there was so little salvageable left of it that it wasn't really worth living in. Besides, he'd made 2 new friends in the 2 red foxes he'd found and named Kitsara and Toriki, and they'd both seemed to decide that the little hiding space was a perfect place to live and raise their kids the following spring. So he decided to do just that. Kitsara and Toriki had 3 more kids the following spring, one of which died shortly after birth. Naruto gave the female aka and the male Renji names, bringing their odd little family to 5 members. End of flashback. Names are a human thing, Kit, the fox remarked idly. You have a name, Naruto observed. I'm an outlier. Curry, that's the first true thing you've said all day. Damn you, Kit. Come closer so I can tear out your tongue. Naruto laughed as the fox sighed and sat down again. Are you ready, Kit? You're about to join the rest of your vile kind and become something even more vile than a human. A shinobi. The hidden leaf shinobi aren't vile, Kurama, Naruto retorted. We follow the will of fire to protect the village and our possessions. We? Well, when I'm a shinobi. The blonde defended herself, slightly embarrassed. I see, Kit. Do whatever you want. Is that all I get, you big lazy pile of fur? Can't you give me some advice or training so I can beat everyone and become the world's greatest Hokage? How could I possibly know anything about shinobi training, Kit? I despise them. Well, you're entirely made of katra. Chakra. Chakra, so you must understand how to use it. The old man said that's how jutsu were created. I am chakra. I don't need your silly human hand signs to launch pitiful attacks, huffed the fox. Go annoy someone else. Fine. Be that way, grumpy bastard. Yelled Naruto back. At the very least, you could do something to help once in a while. Is that like telling you to find another place to sleep during fox mating season? While I'm too young to know that kind of stuff. Exclaimed Naruto, turning bright red. You're about as old as they come in fox years, Kit, Kurama sighed. So you really can't help me with anything? The blonde asked pityingly, his face as innocent as possible. That expression has no effect on me, Kit. I'm far above such nonsense. I knew it.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.